Ladies, good afternoon. Nice to bump into you today.
Hello,
Um,
hello.
I thought we would get together and we would talk about, I'll put it in more plain language. I won't give you my thesis that I gave you before.
I liked it.
But I wanted to talk about how, I've been doing a lot of deep dives into this idea of 7 types of rest. And one of the types of rest that they talk about is creative rest. And that doesn't actually mean you take a break from being creative. It means that you make time to be creative and that it's just a way of relaxing. So instead of we think when we're tired, think like burned out, that we're tired, we need to sleep. But sometimes you sleep for the entire weekend and then you wake up, it's Monday and you're still exhausted. And so it's just this idea that there's different types of rest that your body needs. And one of them is creativity. So I've been thinking a lot about creativity. And of course, I work with Peyton a lot, and she's always sharing her paintings and like her stuff that she's doing, and we've been talking about the fundraiser that we're doing. And I went out and I started like buying craft supplies, and now my house is filled with them. But I as an extension of all of that, I started thinking about how just being a parent requires creativity, especially if you're raising a kiddo with any kind of challenge or difference. We have to be quick on our feet. We have to think outside the box. And I think that we have to be creative in different ways. Does that,
Yeah, right. And nobody gives you a book on how to do this stuff. I mean, it really can be very challenging to come up with things to help your children, be it, school, be it like food, because everybody's so darn different. So yeah, it's hard to be creative when you're exhausted.
Like, habitually so. I am habitually exhausted, but yeah, no, it's true. Um, Even down to, like, homework, I have one that's struggling, he's in 2nd grade. He is the baby of the family, and he is not doing great with comprehension. We're trying to get him, some stuff under control. So we've figured out if I read him the book, then we watch the book on YouTube, then he reads me the book, then we watch the book on YouTube again, then he knows what's happening, and then we talk about it, and then we talk about it again, and then he can go to school and he can take the test and he'll know what's going on. So that maybe was thinking outside the box a little bit, because
yeah,
typically we want the kids to stay away from the screens.
yeah.
But in this situation, it kept his interest. So I
That
think
is
that maybe
creative,
was like a little creative parenting from this week.
but
Right? Now, next week,
that's a lot of work on your end.
oh, yeah. But next week, something completely different will be the thing that you need to do.
Yes, we'll
You know,
revisit it, and I'll give you next week's, what we're trying. It's Adventures with Bubby. That's
Oh. And I know that I've tried at least my children are older. We have one at home that's 19, but when they were younger, food was a huge challenge. You know, cooking for them, and we try not to be a short order cook, but we do. At least we did in our house a lot of times, and they were just challenging. That part you have to be creative in the kitchen somehow. So that was hard for us too.
that's tough, yeah. Pleasing that many people, like, I have 4 kids at home, so, like, making sure that they will all eat it, and then trying to do it budget friendly, because family of 6, lots of sports, trying to do everything cheaply while not making 7. My husband chimed in earlier when we were talking about it, like, unless you're you, because you'll make 5 different things, and sometimes I do, because I'm not. I grew up in like a very rigid household, and so I'm not like that. Like, no one's going to bed hungry, no one's force feeding themselves peas till they gag. We're just not doing that here. So,
well, my
Hmm.
oldest has a pretty rare genetic disorder. I mean, it's not one of the super rare ones, but it's kind of unusual. It's called phenylketonuria, or PKU. So she cannot eat protein, and that means as she describes it, she can't eat anything with a face, which is just the tip of the iceberg, because she also can't have soy. Like, so she can't have tofu. She can't have beans, like hard beans and like shells. Um, so she can't have nuts. So she can't have dairy. So it's like she's vegan, but if you go to get order off a vegan menu, there everybody's going to have tofu in it. She can't have that. And then the things that she was allowed to eat, she's only allowed to eat them in when she was younger, in very specific quantities. So, we were always kind of thinking about like what kind of food can she eat? So like imagine your kid is hungry and like you're out of, equivalents for the day, so I can't really give you anything else to eat. She
Oh.
drinks a special, we always called it her formula. It's like a baby formula that gives her all the other proteins because there is no one protein without phenylalanine in it. So it gives her all the other proteins that she needs, and like, the vitamins and minerals that she would get from eating protein that kind of come together. So I had to be creative because when she was young, quite a while ago, they didn't have all the fancy products that they have now, like gluten-free pasta
Mhm.
was they didn't even have gluten-free pasta until maybe she was about 8 or 10. They didn't have, they have like to make bread, you had to make homemade bread, and it was really hard to make because again it's that gluten that gives your bread elasticity, and it was really hard. So it wasn't just like going to the store and buying like can now gluten-free stuff. That wasn't the way it was. So I think my parenting world, I became indoctrinated in this. I have to think creatively to feed my kid. Like how do I make food stretch for her when you can't use things like rice,
Mm.
and you can't, and like pasta is not available, because you could really make a meal stretch a lot by like mixing in stuff with pop. No, couldn't do that. So there were times when most nights, I did have to make sort of two-ish meals just
Mhm.
because I had my other kiddos to feed, and obviously they needed protein. She couldn't have protein. So I tried to create a meal so that everyone could eat something. So her plate sort of looked like ours, or at least a portion of what was on ours. And then as my younger ones started to get older, they for the longest time they loved, I would make blackened catfish. They would love it, ask for more and more and more. And then all of a sudden one day my daughter was like, I don't eat this. I don't eat this.
It happens so much in this house, so much. Like we'll eat it every week for 5 weeks, and then all of a sudden nobody will touch it. It
Oh
happened to
yeah.
me yesterday, and I could
Yeah.
have burned down the house. I have been making this breakfast casserole since they were little. It's super easy. It has tater tots on it. Whatever. I make toast or cinnamon rolls or something to go with it. It's $15 to make it. They all eat it. There usually the whole pan's gone. There was half of a 9 by 13 left, and I had to throw it away because my refrigerator's broken. So I was like, this is bananas.
I think it's funny. The foods that they are more likely to all of a sudden decide that they don't eat anymore seem to correlate with how easy and how cheap it is to make. I mean, I made the catfish just because I could like throw some blackened seasoning on it and some butter and like throw it in and like broil it, and it was done in no time at all. And of course now that's something, I don't want to eat. And I mean, I get it. She had some my younger daughter kind of developed some like, like texture issues, which oddly enough I did too. I remember being a kid and my mom saying like I used to eat like Campbell's cream of mushroom soup, and now like don't even come anywhere near me with a mushroom because
Ooh.
I'm like they're slimy. So we know who they got this from, but that doesn't make it any different. But
When my kids were little, I would try to sneak um, foods in they eventually caught on, but like for example, pancakes. Now this is going to sound a little strange, but I would go and get baby food, like a little carrot baby food, and mix it in with the batter of pancakes. You can't do too much because they know. It's just sometimes how you put a banana in there or something, but I would do
Yeah.
like a veggie.
Just to hide
And
it.
yeah, and it worked for a while, until one of them got older, like, Mom, what's in here? But, I would just try to, I don't know, disguise things but it was hard. It was yeah, it was challenging. And yeah, that my going back to what you said, oh yeah, they would eat something and then a month later, this is disgusting. I'm like, well, you ate it a month ago. So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
it was your favorite meal
I know.
last week. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The the other thing is I know we've had great discussions just kind of being at our wits' end about the school doing things like, crazy hair day and color day and, like what parent hasn't dug through every laundry basket, closet, drawer in their house looking for the proper shade of green because, tomorrow is Christmas tree green day and it can't be light green. It only, has to be forest green. And, or I sent Chrissy, I sent you the crazy hair. Like there's some woman on social media who actually like puts contraptions into her hair to like do these crazy hairstyles. And I'm thinking like at the end of the day or first thing in the morning, I am not putting, some 3D contraption that has like a swing
Oh gosh.
into my child's hair and wrapping their hair. Like, we are lucky we get out of the door in the morning to catch the bus or to get to school on time. I can't be doing like crazy hair day unless it's like, just don't brush your hair and go to school. You're fine. You're fine. Great
We
out.
do all that stuff, and it's so I don't. And they do it at the most like worst times. Let's talk about the times of the year that they have spirit weeks. One is the week of Halloween. Okay? No. No, thank you. The second one is the last week of school before Christmas. Once again, no, thank you. Um
The last week of school when you're just trying to get to the end of the year.
Halloween week is a pain in the butt to begin with, let alone mismatched pajama. But and it's been weird too. It's not like the standard issue like mismatched sock day or something. It's been like dressed like a Dr. Seuss character. Um,
Oh,
no, thank you.
oh,
Jingle
I
Bell
mean, we,
Day,
we all have some
Elf Day.
creativity in us, but that's asking a lot.
I mean, we
Some of us
do it, but it's annoying because then that stuff
have.
gets thrown in the garbage and it's just more money that you're wasting that could be like on something else because you're buying like elf tights and goofy hats and reindeer
Yeah.
ears.
I know. I remember there was I think it was a basketball player that had passed away. Oh, it was Kobe Bryant, and they were dressing up, not dressing up, but like in honor of him years ago. So we had to wear something. Not we. My one son had to wear something purple. I brought home like 4 shirts, and they weren't the right color purple. And I'm like, I'm like, dude, I can't. Like,
You're
stop.
like, I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass on this.
Hard
Like,
pass. Hard
if
pass.
somebody
Wear
wants to
some.
be sick on Elf Day, I like won't cry over it. We have like a
Uh,
box of reindeer ears and Santa hats and
Yeah,
oh
like
my.
I don't, yeah, and especially right now where everything is so expensive. And, I am trying to reduce the amount of shopping that I do. And it's just hard. And I mean, I understand teachers are really up against it. So they're doing everything fun and creative that they can to get kids to look forward to school and, like get that socialization in and kind of be, they may be getting pressure from their administration to do some of these things too. So, I mean, it's no shade on the teachers. I'm sure it's just kind of like our overly hyped um you know environment that we're living in, but um I think it's so funny because as I was thinking about being creative and different ways of being creative, I'm like, I have been so creative over my parenting career, but I don't think that we like give ourselves credit for the creative ways that we stretch our budget, that we keep our kids happy, that we keep our kids healthy, that maybe the different things that we come up with for their birthdays and Halloween and Valentine's Day, and just even putting presents under the table, and making those special moments, that like magic of the holidays, that's really moms. um
Always mom. But does mom really I'm not even I don't know. This year I'm not looking forward to that. I don't want the elf to come back.
Right. Because you got to be creative with that darn elf. I know.
And figuring out what to do with the elf and
It's a lot.
I have too many kids, I think. I think that's the problem. There's just too many. I'm outnumbered.
I think you only need one elf. I think you could reduce to one elf.
So what do we do with the other elves? I have an elf
Okay,
for every child.
Okay, so Santa is on a budget this year. Santa has had, maybe he's had to furlough his workforce.
I was
Maybe
just gonna say that. Are they laid off?
Maybe Santa's had to lay some elves off. Maybe in a happier way of thinking about it, maybe some elves have reached retirement age.
I love it.
And so he has to stretch things. And so maybe you only have one elf for your family this year, or maybe there's a higher demand for elves.
Our
So
elves are
maybe
being sent to somewhere else. All right, ladies, you're coming with me to get my kids off the bus. Let's
we're
go.
coming to get the kids off the bus.
As far as, I mean, sometimes I tell my kiddos when they were little and they did the elf thing that there are other kiddos that might need it. Like, where we're good, like our family's okay, but maybe Santa thought that there's other kiddos that need it. So this year, I think Santa might only send one, and that's okay, because trying to put them in those different, contortions, contraptions, trying to find, and then you forget, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and
then
somebody's
they're all
gonna
upset. Yeah, or you have to wait till they fall asleep. It's ridiculous. Now my oldest is 13. She knows now, so she could probably help. But then the 10-year-old's real nebby, and she's like on the verge of knowing things. So nebby, how Pittsburgh of me to say that.
I was just gonna say for our listeners who aren't from Pittsburgh that nebby is a total Pittsburgh word meaning like nosy.
I had never heard that. I'm like, nebby.
Right?
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Sorry, I am a yinzer through and through.
Oh,
Love that. But yeah, I mean, I think that the magic of the holidays, if it's something that you're into, I think that that's great.
Mhm.
But I mean, some people just enjoy a particular aspect of the holidays. My friend Stephanie makes beautiful, beautiful, very intricate cookies. Like I make the cookies. I'm like, my cookies are going to taste good. They're probably not going to be pretty, but they are going to taste good.
Did she make us cookies before Parent Alliance cookies?
She did. She absolutely, right?
Yes.
They were pretty, but they were also delicious. They weren't
Exactly.
gross. Like, sometimes you eat a decorated cookie and it's disgusting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This was not that. These were good.
She's got the total package when it comes to baking.
Ugh.
And I absolutely love that for her, but she is super, super, super artistic. Every year she does this porchscape with a different theme for Halloween. The first year, I think I moved to Pittsburgh, she did the claw machine from Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, that would be my favorite.
Right?
Wow.
She did Hocus Pocus. This year she did Pet Cemetery. She's doing Pet Cemetery. She did Aliens. She's just super, super creative. And I mean, like, I think that's great. And I think like for us as parents, it's a great opportunity to have an outlet to kind of, be something that you enjoy doing that, is just brings you joy. Um, but I think that we've got to be careful that we don't necessarily have that cross the line to like this obligation.
Mm-hmm. Right, because sometimes you do feel, you do look at the world outside and you see, oh my goodness, look at that homemade costume that mom made. And then I went to Target and bought, Buzz Lightyear, that was 19.99. I didn't spend $45 or whatever. And then, so it's just, yeah, sometimes you look at that and it kind of like, ugh, but you have to let that go.
We don't even have costumes yet. Halloween's next week. I host 45 people on Halloween.
Oh, wow.
What?
Wow.
We have crazy trick or treat where I live. I live in a farmy area, and my particular area, like my little neighborhood here, everybody takes like trailers and wagons around. It's like the spot in my school district to trick or treat is like the half a mile neighborhood that I live in. So everybody comes here for trick or treat.
Wow.
Okay, well, that's a lot.
Wow.
Not ready, not ready. Currently don't even have a running refrigerator till
Oh,
tomorrow. When I went out to get the kids off the bus, the part that we were waiting for is in fact on the porch. So that's a win, I think.
Love,
wow.
love that. So you're going to spend your weekend fixing your refrigerator?
My husband tomorrow, he's on afternoon shift. He'll do that in the morning. And we bought a new garage fridge, so we went to go get that too. So that if this ever happens again, I won't be using a dorm fridge for my family of 6.
Oh, see, you're being creative. See, you're being creative. You pulled out the
Oh,
dorm fridge because you had to save something.
this is the child that I was talking about. We read and we watch YouTube. This is
Love
Bubby.
it.
Adventures with Bubby.
Love it.
Sorry
Uh,
there.
I remember when I bought my house, it was going to be because of where I lived, they didn't deliver like now. I could probably call and buy a fridge and it would be here in an hour.
Mhm.
But it was like 2 weeks without a refrigerator. And luckily I moved into my house in December. So I did what we all do in Pennsylvania in the winter. And I used my deck as the refrigerator, maybe possibly freezer.
It's
Because
been cold at night, so I've been putting like my eggs and stuff out there. And it's a big dorm fridge. It has stuff in it, but I can't do like a full grocery shop. So I
right.
had like a small Sam's order earlier. I had a small Walmart order 2 days ago because I just have to do like one day at a time.
Yeah. Again, you're
Small,
creative.
minor, annoying inconvenience.
Creative. You're doing
Yep.
you're doing small things, because you
We do
have
our
to.
best over here. We do.
I think parenting is kind of like solving one challenge and then the next challenge and then the next challenge and then the next challenge until you've solved the problem of and your children have graduated and moved on into adulthood. Even if they're going to live with you, you've kind of solved the problems until adulthood.
Oh my gosh. You got any creative ideas for when they're all driving at the same time?
No, I do not. No.
Huh.
I don't know how you would even afford car insurance.
Oh,
I can't afford car insurance for myself and my husband currently because we both like to hit things.
Oh, you
oh
should.
no.
Our insurance went up. I don't know if everyone's insurance went up, but our insurance went up $120 extra per month.
Oh
Hmm.
my.
That's a lot. Hmm.
So
You need to tell your insurance agent he or she's got to be creative and come up with a solution.
Well, it used to just be me that hit things, but now he started hitting things too. So it's mostly like deer where we
Oh,
live is
that's not your fault. That's
no, but
they're
they will still give
committing
you
Harry
like a
Carey on your car. They need to stop that.
high risk rider on your insurance if you've hit too many deer.
Oh, you may not be able to, but I will tell you, we're not sponsored, but give us a call if you want to do some. Here in Pennsylvania, best insurance best price, Erie.
Hmm.
Erie Insurance is so there'll be like an Erie insurance agent listening and they'll be like, that's not true. They only write insurance in Pennsylvania. So they could take our insurance data from Pennsylvania. And I've had Erie insurance forever when I moved to Pittsburgh because I had a house and rent at the same time, and I certainly didn't have any money. They didn't have monthly payments. You pay by like 6 months cycles. And so I had to switch. I don't know. First I went to like Geico and then I went to like State Farm or something like that. And when I was thinking, I'm like, well, maybe I'll see about going back to Erie. And I did the little online thing and they came back with a price that was insane. And then somebody called me and I'm like, there's no point in me even talking to you because the price that you gave me online is way too high. And she's like, no, that's not going to be your price. And now what I pay for 6 months is what I paid for an entire year with my previous
Ooh.
insurance.
I'm gonna have to
So
look at that. Thank you, because
yeah,
who we have is it's pretty high. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Ugh.
yeah. I like them. I can't. I'm afraid to say out loud, but no accent.
My
So
in-laws loved
talking to it.
Erie. I didn't even price them when we bought the house. I don't know why. I have State Farm homeowners insurance. But I'm high risk driver, so I have Progressive because that's the only one that would insure me for a while. I think
Yeah,
now I'm probably okay, but I had a total and that'll screw you all up.
it
Oh
will.
wow.
Yeah. But definitely look into it. So there's our non-sponsored commercial, but I have everything bundled with them. I have renters and my car, and before I had my house and my car, they've always been good. I always tell my kiddos, get your car insurance with them for my kiddos who are in Pennsylvania. But yeah, I think that we've kind of established that yes, we are in fact creative, maybe creative against our will. Um, the only thing that I will say is in my research, back to the 7 types of rest, um, being creative, you're supposed to like not necessarily have a purpose, not like it's like I want to decorate my house for Halloween, not necessarily like being creative because it's an obligation. So being creative for fun.
Because you're
And I will say that our sponsored commercial is our fundraiser in November, where we are going to virtually paint our cozy cottage together as a fundraiser for us, for the Parent Alliance. And luckily, Peyton's walking us through that. And so Julia and I, because Peyton does painting classes for people like in person. And so she wanted to practice online, just her pacing and everything. And so Julia and I were guinea pigs. And I will say it was fun. It was relaxing. It was very,
I
very
love that kind of stuff.
zen.
I'm gonna do it. I think it's really fun.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. And for those that might not know, Peyton is um like Christina's right hand, does a lot of our social media. She does like everything behind the scenes that we need her to do. So
All
and
of
she's
our writing and
very
stuff.
creative.
Peyton is our communications coordinator. Yep. So if you get newsletters, if you've ever read a blog, if you've ever read a tip sheet, Peyton does all of that, and she also is the owner of Peyton's Paints, and so she does commissions and has artwork available for sale and all that kind of stuff. So we are very lucky that she was like volunteering her talents to kind of help out.
I drew a
But
picture of my cat when we were on that retreat, and it's still on my refrigerator.
aw.
Oh.
It's definitely nice. Well, ladies, let's wrap up. What words of wisdom would you like to leave us with this week?
Um, don't beat yourself up if you're not like your neighbor next door, right?
That is
If they
good.
have if they have every Halloween decoration in their yard and you've got one little small pumpkin in the house, it's okay.
Or none? Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah. If you're not carving pumpkins, it's okay. You can take a marker and draw if you want. It's okay. Nobody is it's all good. You do what you want to
A week
do.
before Halloween, and you don't have costumes for your kids and haven't bought one stick of Halloween candy yet, still fine. Oh, we're all fine. Everything's fine. Parenting is supposed to be fluid and you can pivot whenever. So if one week something's working and the next week you need to do something else, that's totally okay.
And I would just say that give yourself credit for all of the ways that you're figuring things out on the fly and making things happen. You know, you're holding it together, or maybe today you're not holding it together, and that's cool too. You'll get to it tomorrow or the day after. You know, life comes at you fast, and you just do the best you can every day, and you solve one problem and get through the day, and tomorrow there'll be something else, you know, another opportunity for you to try figuring another problem out in a different way. And it's all good, but stop every so often and kind of think about the things that you've been able to figure out and the challenges that you've been able to manage, and give yourself credit for that. Maybe other people aren't noticing, but notice for yourself and brag about yourself a little bit.
Absolutely. That's
Well,
awesome.
thank you, ladies. It's always a pleasure getting to chat with you guys. And we work together. We like don't get to see each other that often, but doing a podcast is very fun.
Love it. Love
And
it.
we'll talk soon. And if anybody who's watching, if you guys have some ideas for creativity, if you've got, you know, some of your go-to activities to kind of take a break or ways of problem solving, by all means put it in the chat. We'd love to hear it, and we'll be able to share it with everybody.
Thanks.
Thanks, Steve.
Bye.
Have a good day.